If we're having a conversation and you say to me, well, surveillance makes me safer, that's because you're not on the receiving end. It's always easier to sacrifice someone else's liberties because you have no skin in the game. CLEAR's approach is rooted in our relationships with the communities and movements that we're trying to support. And that stems from an understanding that movements are not lawyer-led and that they should be led by the people who are the most affected, who understand what the stakes are, who understands what the problems are, and who know what the solutions are. Surveillance performs political work in service of a much broader foreign policy and military agenda, from that drone strike in Somalia to the FBI knocking on the door of that Yemeni American in Brooklyn. Those things are part of a single spectrum that the government justifies in the name of national security. And so for us, on the side of the communities who are on the receiving end, we have to see those larger connections. That kind of phenomenon of the creation of monsters is not unique to Muslims in America. It's something that began with the native inhabitants of this land and that led to their genocide and their dispossession. And it's something that continued, obviously, with African Americans who were brought over as slaves. And so all of that goes through a similar process of demonization to enable, to facilitate and permit these policies. We facilitate a workshop about when the NYPD comes knocking at your door. We talk about the triangle of power. There are three parties. There's you, there's the FBI, and then there's us, an organization like CLEAR as your attorneys. And you have a choice to make, and you can decide whether to hand that power over to the FBI agent by just engaging with them, and they're a trained interrogator and you're not, and they know the law and you don't. Or you can decide to hold on to that power and bring us into the equation to try to level the playing field, to have us step in between you and the state. Those are the kinds of conversations that happen in multiple spaces. You know, we go into community sites, youth organizations, schools, mosques, and people recognize their own power. So when you start to see people actually implementing that knowledge, using it and applying it and feeling comfortable doing it and laughing about it and getting playful about it, that's when, you know, things start to turn and people start to see other possibilities.